Good afternoon, everyone. Georgetown will proudly tell you that this is a global university that produces global citizens. In fact, when you search the Georgetown website for the term global citizen, you're prompted to 1,640 results. Among these many pages, you'll read that every citizen bears the responsibility to weigh the consequences of their actions for society, and that our education is meant to teach us how many of the discriminating power structures, injustices, and inequalities worldwide are bred and reproduced through our lack of understanding about how our lives are interconnected. These phrases remind us that as Georgetown graduates, we are uniquely implicated by the call to global citizenship. To answer this call, we must acknowledge and act upon our responsibility to humanity, to all humans. Admittedly, when I first arrived at Georgetown, it was difficult for me to think of myself as a global citizen. As an undocumented young Latina, I was well aware that citizenship was exclusive, that there are people within and outside of its protections and privileges. Yet, during my time here at Georgetown, I've developed an understanding of global citizenship as an identity that transcends borders, both literal and figurative. And this helped me think about and understand my own experience. Perhaps most importantly, to become global citizens, it is imperative that we critically assess what divides us and take on the responsibility that global citizenship asks us to take on. One of the first books I picked up, which truly breathed life into my soul, is Gloria Anzaldua's Borderlands La Frontera, The New Mestiza. In it, she writes, "Borders are set up to define the places that are safe and unsafe, to distinguish us from them." In this sense, borders are not simply national borders, but constructed social realities influenced by race, gender, class, ability, and sexuality. These borders cloud our mutual humanity. My point here is that to begin to become global citizens, we must begin by undoing borders. To understand exactly what I am referring to, we only need to reflect on the past 10 months in America. We cannot deny that our senior year has been a striking reminder of the lasting legacy of racial oppression in our country. The Georgetown bubble could not shield us from the historic events in Ferguson, in New York, and now the ongoing protests not too far from our hilltop home in Baltimore. The country is shaken, and rightly so. In these critical moments, we feel the immense impact of the philosophy underlying global citizenship. Importantly, to stand on the side of justice, we must build bridges. This year, Georgetown has been a place to engage in constructive dialogue, but it's also been a place to express our most deepest frustrations. In the weeks following the tragic shooting of Michael Brown, President DeGioia reminded our university that in moments of national turmoil, universities are a unique place to reflect and to convene discussions and to engage in dialogue about the many events unfolding around us. Being a university community allows us the opportunity to learn from one another and to reach a deeper understanding of the implications of events occurring at this moment in history. This year alone, with the leadership of our seniors, we've successfully organized for fair wages, a diversity requirement, a place to call mi casa, or my home. Students have died in for Black lives and celebrated our LGBTQ community when faced in the presence of a hate group on our campus. These are just a few things. Our class has done much, much more. Yet, although I would love to continue to praise this senior class for their amazing accomplishments, and of course, for making our campus a better home for future Hoyas, I must point out that the vast majority of us will leave the hilltop behind. However, we cannot leave behind the spirit of inclusivity, of justice. This is, after all, what we are meant to inherit from Georgetown. Undoubtedly, this class of Hoyas will go on to change the world of policy, of business, of medicine, and of the arts. We will be key stakeholders in conversations that will shape the future of our world. Wherever we go, we carry the responsibility of global citizenship. Our Georgetown education has given us the critical knowledge base from which to explore the needs and the demands of humanity. Knowledge transcends borders, and it is up to us to engage the ideas from the pages of Charles Dickens to Maya Angelou. As Georgetown graduates, we take on the responsibility to rebuild a more just commonwealth and a more just world. And to close, I return to Anzaldúa, and I leave you with this quote: "Caminante, no hay puentes, se hace puentes al andar. Voyager, there are no bridges, one builds them as one walks." So go forth, class of 2015, open borders, build bridges.